Battle of the Challenges podcast with Vincent Cloud
and Hardcore Dave.
And this is Champs versus Stars, episode 1 and episode 2. We're going to cover both of them real quick. Why? Because, well, I haven't been able to watch. Dave is distracted right now. Dave has his laptop open. He's playing the Packer game, which I guess I really can't fault you. We are...
I'm a diehard Packer fan. I'm from Wisconsin, but it's on mute. I'll try not to be too distracted by it.
It's just huge distraction.
There's like 2 minutes to go in the half, and then it's halftime. So you know,
all right.
I'll try not to be too distracted. We'll talk about the challenge though. But if the Packers score a touchdown, I might start freaking out. But they're winning right now. They're up 17-7. So
well, okay. Well, here's the thing. You ever be in bed with someone and you're having sex and you call out a different name than the person you're with?
No, I don't use.
Well, don't do that. Well, don't do that. So what I'm saying is, when we're recording and you're like, "Oh fuck yeah," instead of saying "Go awesome Clay Matthews," just say like
Jenna,
something like that. Just to otherwise I'll be so pissed.
I'll just be like, "Fuck yeah, riff raff."
Yeah, exactly. Just don't get any of the players distracted with T.O. I just feel like that's writing a line somewhere.
Okay. I don't think there's any players for the Packers that have the initials T.O.
Yeah?
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Let's get on with it. Champs vs. Stars, episode 1, Toe Big or Toe Home. Pretty dumb fucking name.
That was the name of the episode. Oh, man. That's... that was a bad pun.
Okay, bad title, but good episode, I'll say, and probably a great season. But
yeah,
that
premiere episode was great.
It starts off with people walking one-on-one, or one by one, into the Lexa Hotel. This is where the season's taking place. This is where they're staying. Remember season 1? They were in this big warehouse. Remember that?
Yeah.
Now they're in the Lexa Hotel. I've heard of the Lexa, right? Have you?
No.
No? Well, I
stay in like a Motel 6.
Well, we kind of assumed that's where they were keeping these people. Remember last season we were like, they're not spending there's no bunk beds in the warehouse.
Yeah.
They're getting
they're going home to the hotel to sleep in some awesome place.
But this time they're actually filming in that hotel, and all their all the casual things, the hangout place, the ping pong tables, that's all in that hotel. Even when they're working out, it's in the hotel. So I feel like Lexa's like, listen, man, let's work together here. We'll set you guys up in our hotel. Just don't let some fucking Brazilian asshole lose her shit and steal one of our carts and endanger our fucking clientele. You know what I mean? And the challenge was like, sure, never gonna happen. Don't worry. You know what I mean? But anyways, one by one they walk in. This is very Jersey Shore-esque because every person has to make an impression when they walk in to the cast of the challenge, and they have to introduce themselves. They have to kind of sell themselves and stuff.
But aren't like all the champs already? Weren't the champs already there, and then the stars were showing up? Or did the champs show up one by one too?
I think so, and they just didn't give them their usual, like, hey, I'm Bananas Man. I've won 6 times. What? You know what I mean? But the actual first thing you see is CT showing up. And the rest of the champs are there, and that's where CT's like, come on, you guys, act like you belong here. Like he's like, just chill and shit. So I think everyone had their introduction. CT's the only champ that got a single introduction. I felt that's pretty cool, right?
I guess.
No? Okay.
I mean, I don't really recall that, but I mean, it makes sense. CT's cool. That's great. I don't know. Yeah. Whatever.
But one by one, you get the stars showing up. We could talk about them when they're brought up in the episode. I don't want to cover all their introductions and their charities and shit like that. If we remember, that's fine. But let's get into the very first mission of the season. The theme is focus, just like last season, where like every episode's going to have a theme according to like being an athlete or whatever. It's and this is the tow truck thing.
What does pulling a tow truck have to do with focus?
Holy shit. That's true. What? Focus is right? Is it?
I don't know.
Well, agility's episode 2. No, this is focus. Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe they need to use the force to move that truck. That's why we're focused enough.
Yeah, but it's a very simple mission. I don't even know why it's the first thing because it's just kind of it's silly. You know, like who would tune in to like check out all these stars and these champions just kind of pull a truck in a parking lot? You know, it had to have fire or something more gimmicky. You know, something more theatrical.
See, I thought it was fine. I liked it for a first challenge.
Right.
It gave. I mean, you have all these stars like football players and UFC stars and stuff like that.
Mm.
Versus people from the challenge, and it's kind of strength oriented, you know, and they have to use some strategy with it as well because they were able to swap out players.
Oh yeah, they swap. They got to swap.
They're only able to use like 5 people on the team pulling at the same time, or like once you got past like a certain bump, then you're able to add on another person pulling.
That's right. I guess what I'm saying is, I felt weird about that being the first mission, and I really feel weird. Because the second episode is a much better mission. That actually should have been the very first episode mission, right? The obstacles and shit?
Nah.
No?
Because we're just getting to know the people. It's the first episode.
That's how you get to know people by individually showing what they can do, you know? In this first episode, you don't really see that too much. There's emphasis on T.O. because he's in the front of the rope, which I'm like, that's smart. I didn't know what I was saying. I was just like, that looks smart. But Zach was at the very end, and he was, turns out, the anchor. And that actually made a huge difference.
Yeah. Anybody who's ever done tug of war, it's pretty obvious. You always put the big fat dude right at the end because that's just the strategy. That's what everyone always does. Like, I thought everyone would know to do that, but they have T.O., their strongest guy, right in the front, and it's like, okay, he's pulling everything, and it's basically he's trying to do it himself because everyone who's pulling behind him isn't even really able to help.
I never thought about that, but I should have.
Yeah, the champs totally outsmarted the stars on this.
Let's discuss the new rules real quick. Every winning team, afterwards, they choose an MVP who gets cash for their charity. Remember, last season, you had to choose a captain before every mission. And if the captain lost, he would have to go into elimination, he or she, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or if they won the thing. So this is kind of weird. It's a little different. It's very fucking weird that you're just going to choose someone to save, basically. And they get to choose who is sent in. Oh, it's fucked up. But then we have LVPs, one from each side, no matter what. But the good thing is it's finally going to be champs versus pros or stars, you know? They didn't do that last season.
Yeah, last season you had to go against someone else on your team. That's how we got the matchup of like Bananas versus West, which was awesome.
Yes.
But this season I like it better that you're actually getting one-on-one. You're going to see T.O. go against somebody at some point.
Hopefully
you're going to see Riff Raff go against Zach and get squashed.
West Waff.
West Waff. Like, you know what? Because it could lead to something cool. We might have like Wes go against Romeo, you know, and those guys are buddies.
Oh my God, yes. But going back to the whole champs theme, what was the very first time that was used? The ruins. And what was the best part about the ruins was that in the eliminations, the champs would face against the challengers. That was cool, you know. That's something I wanted to see. So this is returning back to that ruins formula. That's pretty sweet. So anyways, they have that tow truck thing. All I remember is that, you know, the Zach and T.O. difference, you know. The champs won, you know. I think the stars started off pretty good, but then they just burnt out, a.k.a. T.O. burnt out. If he's pulling the truck all by himself, you know. And the champs won.
Well, the best part was they win, and then The Miz comes out, and The Miz is awesome as the host. And he comes up to Zach, and Zach starts talking shit, and he's like, "Seems like the Dallas Cowboys wasted $70 million on that chump T.O."
Is that what he said?
Yeah. Well, that's not exactly what he said.
He
said it really awesome. I'm trying to remember what he said.
I was going to say the $70 million thing was used by CT in a much better, more decisive way. You know, more cutting.
Well, in the second episode, Zach was the first person to mention that the Cowboys wasted money on T.O. when they could have had me or something like that.
Yeah, that was the first of many jabs towards T.O. Which, leading up to a point, I felt bad for T.O. I was like,
because T.O. at this point has done nothing wrong.
Right.
He's just been nice and smiling, and that's how he was the entire first episode. He never did anything wrong.
Yeah.
And like later, Corey ends up yelling "F you" at him when he tries to throw a ball back at him during the elimination.
Well, he said "fuck you." It would have been adorable if he was like "F-U-T-O." LOL. IMHO. Okay, so after the champs win, Camilla gets drunk next to the pool.
Yeah, they're all down by the pool, and she's like gyrating her butt, wasted
Over a duffel bag.
Yeah.
It was weird because it was still broad daylight. She's clearly drunk off her ass, or no, she's not off her ass. She is off her ass. She's on her hands and knees and she's gyrating. Yeah, she's twerking, and what happened next? It was off camera. She stole a golf cart, right? Because she wanted to leave. Is that what it was?
Well, she got into an argument, I guess, with one of the producers. They're probably like, "All right, we're cutting you off," and then allegedly, she hit the production assistant like in the face.
A PA? That's all? Come on, that should be a slap on the wrist.
No, any member of the crew. You
Camilla
can't put your hands on anybody.
I'll get the coffee tomorrow, okay? I'm sorry, PA.
She decks this chick, and then she hops on the golf cart, which is plugged in and charging, so it like ripped off.
Did it?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
They were showing how it was like ripped off the plug-in part, and they had to like get in front of the cart to try and slow her down. And I'm just imagining, I'm like, wouldn't it have been great to actually see that scene of her driving away in the golf cart? Like, they should have gotten another golf cart to try and chase her. And it could have been like the scene where OJ is in the Bronco.
No.
And then everyone's like behind her, like, all right, come on. And they got her on the phone, and they're like, give up, just give it up.
Too soon.
Try and negotiate a surrender.
The People versus Camilla. Starring Cuba Gooding Jr.
But yeah, it's unfortunate with like they didn't even want to show Camilla's meltdown. I wish I could have seen it. Like we saw a little bit where she's back in the hotel
and she has the door locked.
Yeah, she's like locking the door, and then they have to, they're in the hotel, so like somebody's like go down to the front desk, get this key, and then just open it anyways.
But the chain was on there. That's why this big security guy had to like legit shoulder through the thing. That was pretty intense. I was like, holy fuck.
And then they confront Camilla and they're like, hey, you punched somebody. And she's like, no, I didn't. And they're like, there was a room full of people. Everyone saw you do it.
Do you think she was denying it or she really just didn't remember doing that?
Who knows? I have no idea what's going on in her crazy head.
I thought she asked someone, like, did that happen? And the other person was like,
yeah, they were like, yeah, it happened. Because wasn't it like Emily was there?
It was either Emily or Ashley, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And she was just like, oh shit. Because it was kind of like an intervention of like, you were really fucking crazy like an hour ago. Because she's slowly starting to sober up at this point, I bet.
That's right. Ugh. It was so gross because the sun wasn't even down yet and she got that fucking wasted, you know? Mm-hmm. And like, I'm sure the production, even if she hadn't hit the PA, maybe she would have stuck around. But the Lexa Hotel were like, we told you strictly. Like, those were our little details. Brazilian. Asshole. Like, don't do any of that shit. Golf cart, we said, So, she's let go. And that is why she didn't appear on the reunion. Although she said that there was a family emergency or something like that.
Well, that's a lie. Yeah, it was. She didn't show up because of this meltdown and her hitting somebody. And, like... It raises the question, is this the last time we're ever going to see Camilla? Is she ever going to come back? Because she won the last season, the Dirty 30. So she got $450,000. So she has enough money,
What if Camilla didn't win and the producers are like, listen, you're not going to come back. She's like, I'm going to come back. They're like, what if we pay you not to come back?
We'll just say that you beat Cara Maria.
No, we're going to say you beat Tori, right? Didn't we feel like Tori was like ahead or whatever?
It seemed like it.
But yeah, well, anyways, yeah, she's not in the poster, like we said, for Champs vs. Stars. Maybe it's because she was kicked out right before they could take pictures, but maybe not. What do you think? Do you think, or was she photoshopped out of there?
I don't know. That's a good question. But like, because there's not just this incident, but like what happened with her and Leroy for being super racist towards Leroy. And we don't exactly know all what happened because they edited what we saw on TV. So she's fucked up a lot. So I could see them possibly not bringing her back.
Yeah, I think she's done.
I don't know, but they need to pay for her to get us to a psychiatrist and maybe start going to some AA meetings.
Yeah.
Get on the straight and narrow, Camilla. Clean your act up.
We'll see if it happens. Okay, so let's get into the pre-deliberation. They're told that Camilla's not going to be there, I believe. But right away, Zach, he's the MVP. I don't remember what his money's going to. Do you remember? Like Locks for Love or something like that?
Yeah, right? Like wigs for kids with cancer. And that's because Zach used to have long hair.
Yeah.
He's donated that.
Yeah. But he chooses Corey. I think almost everyone saw it coming, you know? Because Corey, he's like, hey, man, I get it, you know?
All the guys, they're all like veteran dudes who have been there for years and years. And Corey is still... Corey's been there like the last 3-4 seasons now. But in the amount of challenge seasons and years, he's the newest guy.
And
so
in
he kind of
title,
gets picked
he's not
on.
a champ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. I'm glad that they didn't just bring that up and like it got really.
He's made it to 2 finals and didn't he get second place on Bloodlines? Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Mitch got second place.
Second and third place. That's pretty good. Okay, but on the Stars deliberation, Riff Raff volunteers. He's like, man, I'm trying to have what do you say? 2017 summer fun or whatever. Or no, he's like 17
20
what was it? 2K17. Right away, I gotta say I'm drawn to Riff Raff. He's just so weird, but like he's not full of shit. Like he's not full of himself at all. He's actually kind of like goofy.
Yeah, exactly. Before I watched the first episode, like I looked up Riff Raff and I'm like, what is this guy about? Like, what's his music like?
You actually watched a music video?
I watched a couple music videos and they were terrible. The music was really bad and I was like, this guy looks like a douchebag, like full on douchebag. But then on the show, he's just like, he's super like kind and kind of meek and he just seems like he's like baked on like, and he just ate a bunch of edibles and he's just silly and goofy and I don't know. He's entertaining TV. Like he says funny shit. He's mainly known for eating snacks. Like some of the lines he has are just so silly. It's awesome.
He almost seems like an indie rapper. You know what I mean? Like there's some people that are like, you know, indie rock. They're like, oh, you play to like the small hipster type of things that they like, but he plays to the hipsters of rap fans.
I guess. Tiptoeing in his Jordans.
Is that what? One of his they showed a little bit of it, and he's got all those shoes hanging off him and stuff. It was funny. Okay, but anyways, Riff Raff, he volunteers. He wants to go in, but then Matt Rife, he talks to everybody later on and says, "Listen, I want to go in. Think about it. The theme's going to be focus. Come on, we want to win. We don't want to just lose some guy." You know?
Yeah, and as a team, because it's champs versus stars, and one team is going to lose a player, you don't necessarily want to send in your worst player. You want to send in someone who's going to win and come back.
You want the numbers on your side overall. Yeah, and it's smart. So when it comes to the actual nominations, things are switched up. Riff Raff is kind of mad, but not really. You know. That's when he says, like, I'm just trying to have my 2K17 fun, and you're fucking it up, or whatever, you know? But he's like, okay, whatever. So Matt, he gets the nomination against Corey. And the elimination, they're giant fidget spinners. There's baskets on them that full of balls. You got to throw them into those targets. I thought it was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it looked really tough.
Yeah.
Like, I want to shit on Corey for falling down, but there is no way I could have stood on that thing and not fallen down. Like, the way it's spinning around fast enough, and you know you have that stationary target, so you're kind of it's not like running on a treadmill because it's going in a circle, so you're kind of having to like sidestep constantly, and that looked tough. It was cool though.
Yeah, I liked it. It was awesome to see. And Matt wins, right? I mean, I know he wins, but I think like Matt fell, so Corey got to go one more time because he had 2 balls left. And then T.O., he has the 1 ball. He's like, hey, Corey, here, have this one. And that's when Corey said, F you, T.O., you know, P.S., BTW, you know, JK. But, like, that felt kind of unwarranted, but it also was the theme of that episode of where the guys are like, "Fuck Tio," or like, they're always just
It
saying
seemed like
shit.
they were constantly trying to rile up T.O. because T.O. is the guy who's known for being like kind of a brash football player.
Right.
Who will talk smack.
Yeah.
So all of the champs constantly, like even Bananas as well, is trying to get T.O., trying to get something out of him.
Do you think that's something that would just happen, like regardless of Tio being an asshole? Apparently, I just feel like that's what Bananas wanted to do with CM Punk. It's like, no, I want to, like see if we can wake up the bear.
Constantly.
It's fun, It's the idea of getting in an argument with Tio. I'm sure sounds awesome to them, because he's supposed to be a shit talker. They're like, oh, come on, say some shit.
The producers are suggesting this stuff because when they're making the commercials for the TV show and they're like, next episode, they want to see two people yelling at each other, and they're like, Tio's a huge star. We want to get him fighting with somebody. So, yeah, from episode 1, they're trying to get under Tio's skin.
Corey is eliminated. It sucks. He's not the best at elimination, so I'm like, oh, God, who knows what you're going to do here, Corey. But I like him. He just wasn't able to... I take that back. He was able to operate while there. Remember he was hitting on, what's her name? Ariane? Or Ariane or whatever?
Yeah.
And she was totally getting it. Yeah. Like she was feeling it. Yeah.
She was into it, too. Like, Corey's the ultimate player. And I wish he would have stuck around a couple more episodes just so we could see what was happening with him and Ariane.
I'm sure something could have happened. Like, Corey's able to...
for sure, because we see later that, like, Ariane, like, everybody seems on her team kind of has, like, an alliance and friendships, and she feels like the outsider. Yeah. And that's where Corey would have, like, swooped in and been like, hey, we can team up.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's true.
And maybe she could have, like, swapped sides, like, change teams. Start working for the other side.
Yeah, you never know. But that was the end of episode 1. Awesome. It was. I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. This is very promising. So let's get into episode 2. Parkour all obstacles. What does that mean? Parkour all obstacles. Is that a play on a word or something like that?
No? I don't think so.
No. Let's start off.
If it is, it's over my head.
I mean, is there something as like hardcore all obstacles? No. Whatever. But it starts off. Tio, Michelle Watterson, and Matt are working out in the Lexa Hotel gym. Looks nice, by the way. It's a great commercial for Lexa is the thing. I'd be like, I'd go there, But Tio is talking to Michelle, and she's like, the champs, I can't stand them. That disrespect in episode 1 at the very end, like he was just like, I spent 15 years playing at the top of a professional sport. Mm-hmm. I deserve respect.
Oh, he's a Hall of Famer, yeah, and he's like, you know what? I don't have to prove myself to anybody. Like, what I've done in my life, it speaks for itself. And he's 100% right. He's a NFL Hall of Famer. Like, he's great.
Okay, so let's just get right into the mission. It's covering agility this time. This is the parkour course. There's like bars, there's mazes, there's trampolines. There's all this thing looks fun as hell.
I know. I want to run around that place so bad. It looks so cool.
This is where you got to collect the flags. The flags are worth different points and shit. And then, offense, defense.
Yeah, so you have one person's running first, and then they have like 10 or 15 seconds head start. So they start grabbing the flags, and then the Miz says, all right, go. And the other person's got to, once they tag him and touch him, then it's over for him.
Then the people that are with the giant slingshots, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. That's
was
so
cool.
Awesome. Okay, so anyways, let's get into it. Oh, no. Before this happens, T.O. says, hey, champs, I just want you to know, like, don't talk to me. Like, we're not doing this anymore. So just, and CT's like, all right, sir, you got it, man. You don't want to be talked to or whatever, And I really believe CT was like, okay, we're not going to talk to you. And he really wasn't until the very end when they start talking shit or whatever. So anyways, let's start it off. T.O. versus Bananas. All the stars are on offense first. Remember that? So we'll go with them and then their defenders, their chasers, I guess. T.O. against Bananas. T.O. gets 5 points, but he's caught pretty quickly. Bananas was really proud of that. He's like, no, I chased him into the maze and stuff like that.
Yeah, like Tio kind of got cornered in the maze. He should have stayed out in the open.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Tio has good straight line speed, but once you're in a maze, it's kind of hard to be fast. And that matchup kind of makes sense because Bananas is probably the fastest guy because Corey's gone. I know Wes isn't that fast. CT's not that fast. Zach's maybe second fastest.
Didn't Zach fucking play football at some sort of a level? Why isn't that a thing?
Is he?
He did. I thought he had he tried out for the NFL or some shit. I swear to God. Yeah, I heard that his points. What are they called? Columbine points? No. What are they called?
Wonderlic score?
Is that what it is?
What point are you talking about?
When you try out for the NFL and they make you do a test. A physical test.
A physical test? That's like your combine.
Combine. I said Columbine.
Well, Zach never went to the combine. There's a lot of college football players who don't get to go to the combine. You have to be invited there. They only invite like 250 or 300 guys.
Well, so that's good that he was able to do a combine, right?
No, he wasn't. There's no way in hell.
I heard he did.
What college did he play for? If he never played college ball, you're not going to go to the NFL combine.
You know, maybe use that laptop that's open playing that NFL game. Packers game that's distracting me so
It's
much.
not even worth looking up because there's no
You don't believe it?
I know for a fact.
Listen, I could be wrong. I'm like you giving me this look like how could you say such a thing? I'm like that's what I heard. Okay, I could be wrong. Maybe they were wrong that brought it up. Okay,
I just like he would have had to play at an elite level in college ball in order to be invited there.
Okay,
so,
but I think he was a football player. Maybe he never had the combine, or maybe he was. Yeah. He played for Columbine. Yeah. Okay.
I think he probably just played in high school, like most dudes played in high school.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What was the team? Columbine. Trench coats.
Oh my God.
No.
Moving on. Moving on.
Bowling for Columbine. All right. Okay. Josh. No. Matt. Matt is being chased by CT. CT leaps on top of the maze. As big as he is, He's super agile. We know this.
This was crazy. It was so awesome. Like I've seen C2 do good stuff before, but there's certain times where he still like wows you, and he just like jumped up there and just boom, he was right on top of him and tagged him so quick. It was like holy shit, CT even for a big dude.
Yeah. Matt got 6 points. Josh chased by Zach. I don't remember too much. But Josh got 11 points. Romeo chased by Wes. Romeo got 13 points.
Sweet.
The tag was sweet by Wes. I think he like leaped
Romeo's
forward.
Fast as hell, and then he gets up on top of that tall structure, and then Romeo like just dives off, and Wes just tags his foot because if he wouldn't have gotten him there, he wouldn't have probably ever gotten him.
Romeo was super impressed by that. In fact, that was sort of a bromance that just kind of started this episode. You know, they're both talking about how like they like each other and shit. You know, sometimes it takes a little game of tag you're it. You know, that's like playground romance right there. I had that with chicks. You know, when girls they don't know how to say they like a guy, so a boy. I mean. So they like kick you in the nuts. You're like, ow!
I don't think Romeo and Wes were like kissing behind the monkey bar or anything like that.
Behind the monkey bars.
Strictly platonic.
How do they expect to hide behind monkey bars?
I know. That was wondering that myself.
Go in the maze. Go in the labyrinth, man. All right. Oh, next is Riff Raff chased by Bananas. This was actually adorable because Riff Raff has fun. He's like rolling around. He's like, oh, where's he going? Where's he going? He's jumping around on the trampoline. I'm pretty sure he's getting winded while he's doing it.
Oh, yeah. He's winded immediately.
He jumps into the foam pool or whatever, and
he's like, oh, there's a turtle on me. I can't move in here.
And Bananas helps him up and shit, and, you know, Riff Raff is just like that. So, I don't know. I like Riff Raff still. 4 points for Riff Raff. Justina chased by Emily. Justina got 10 points. I don't remember too much about that. Sean chased by Jenna. This is where shit goes terribly wrong. Sean gets 10 points. But I thought that Jenna didn't tag her or did she tag her on the way down? Like, what happened?
I think it was stopped because of the injury. I don't think she
really?
tagged her. Like Sean, like she was trying to. Sean jumps.
From
What Sean said later.
2-story jump.
Yeah, like she wasn't even trying to jump off of that. Like we did see Romeo like jump off it earlier. Sean said she wasn't even trying to, but she was running away from her. She was trying to step on like the edge of it, but then her momentum just kept her going. So then she ended up jumping anyways. And Jenna's just going after. She just jumps down like without a thought.
Yeah.
And like straight down, lands on her foot. Like she, oh man, she just immediately crumbles to the ground. Like she just hit and she's just laying there.
She couldn't stick. I mean, Sean, she's gonna stick that landing. That's what gymnasts do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a 2-story drop. That's still huge, even for Jenna. Jenna's tall. She's way taller than Sean.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But
it
yeah,
sucks. This is the last of Jenna we're gonna see.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess we see her a little bit more in this episode.
Yeah, and before this, she was flirting with Zach again.
Oh yeah.
That's so weird.
It's the romance that'll never die.
Jesus Christ.
I feel like
It's like seeing a friend involved in a horrible relationship where you're like, leave his ass or leave her ass, whatever. Like, leave. Someone's got to get out of there. You know?
it seems like they move on and they date other people, and then they're like, well, I'm in between relationships right now, so I'll just go back to Old Faithful here. Because anytime they're on a show together, they're like, oh, and then they just start flirting.
Jenna's like, I'm probably the best ex-girlfriend ever. I'm like, well, does it apply to all your ex-boyfriends? Because it seems like you're just willing to, fuck no matter what. It's fine, Because Zach was like, she should hate me for all the shit that I've put her through, but she doesn't. And that speaks well to her character. Dumb shit.
True.
A dumb shit.
Zach has been an asshole a
fool.
lot, but Jenna is very forgiving. And but like Jenna is super fucking tough because she's laying on the ground. She's like, "Ow, it really hurts." But I'm like, I can't believe like she's not bawling in tears. And then like the Miz is like, "Well, she tweaked her ankle, so she can't go on." And then I guess the medical person said that she sprained her ankle.
She sprained it, yeah.
But you could see how freaking swollen it was, like immediately. And like Jenna wanted to go back out there and play on defense, I think, or on offense later. Yeah. But she couldn't put any weight on her foot.
I think Emily went for her or something like that. She went twice. But yeah, that's the end of fucking Jenna. Sucks.
Yeah, and that's why she's not on the Challenge Vendettas the next season we're gonna have because of this foot injury.
I wonder how serious it is. Like, do you think it's just fucking permanent bullshit?
I hope she's able to recover. She had surgery and like some pins put into her ankle to like hold it together. So I mean, they put in some metal and hardware in there to hold her freaking ankle together. So I mean, she should be able to recover, but it's probably gonna be a year. It's
weird. Jenna's gone. I like her as I'm a fan of Jenna's, and it sucks that she's gone. But then I'm like, haha, you know why? Because you're not rightfully a champ either. You shouldn't be on this, so it's fine losing you. I'm all about like I must be an elitist when it comes to these champs. So like, no, to be called a champ, you have to be a champ. You have to win. Corey, Anissa, Jenna, You can't just go to the finals. You have to win.
But wouldn't you agree? Aren't you happy that Jenna was there and not Cara Maria? Because I know how much you dislike Cara Maria.
That's a tough call. No, I'd rather have Jenna there. No, I'd rather have Cara break her leg. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not hateful like that at all. It was just a joke. All right, next we have Kim Glass versus Anissa. Kim is I love Kim. Like, she's just this long fucking runner.
Super athletic.
And she was totally going to outrun Anissa. There's no doubt in my mind. But she was hit by the slingshot.
Yeah.
And Kim is so pissed. And so would I.
So what is Kim? Is she an Olympian or?
No.
Volleyball?
Maybe Olympian. Volleyball for sure, whatever it is. Cool. It could be at the Olympic level. I'm not sure. Next we have Ariane, the wrestler chick, versus Ashley Mitchell. Ariane actually doesn't do very good. She only gets 3 points. Kim got 4 points, by the way. Sean got 10. I don't know if I've been mentioning this. Michelle Watterson, chased by Emily. I was like, oh, this is so fucking hot. I don't really remember. I think Michelle got 6 points. Okay, so now we're going to switch it up real quick. The champs are going to run. They're going to be chased by the stars. Emily against Justina. Emily got 30 points. She got the most points out of the girls by far. And I just want to say that it's great to have Emily back here. Like, she's hot too. Like,
she's dominant. Like, she's a beast.
Which makes it hot. Hotter. But she's hit by the slingshot. I think that's the only way she probably could have been taken down, right?
Yeah, Emily's such an athlete. Like, and Justina, she's not an athlete. She's just a wild and out star.
Like
so she's not an athlete or like, Michelle Watterson, somebody like that. Yeah. They should have had, Emily. It's kind of a mismatch.
Anissa chased by Kim Glass. I just like that last name, Kim Glass. Anissa only got 2 points, but she was shot by the slingshot. Good for her.
Yeah, she's kind of a big target, so I saw that coming.
No. Ashley chased by Ariane. Ashley did way good with 12. CT chased by Matt. CT did really good. He got 25. And it was great because he took the flags and he did the thing with the money, counting them off, making it rain. And that was awesome. And then Bananas did it later on. I was like, come on, dude. Jesus Christ.
I didn't realize that, but that's kind of funny. Bananas would totally copy something.
Zach chased by Josh. He only got 2 points. I just remember Josh leaping off the trampoline just to get the tag. That was pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah. That was awesome.
And then finally it ends with Bananas being chased by Riff Raff. This is a joke. Bananas toys with Riff Raff. He gets really close, then he leaps over and outruns him.
Yeah, that was such a mismatch again.
Bananas ends up getting 31 points, and by this time it's over. Emily, CT, and Bananas getting all those points. Wes didn't even get to go. They were like, no, it's over. They called it. It was an early stoppage. So the champs win with 102 points. The stars have 72 points.
So it's 2 episodes in. The champs have won both times.
Yes. But again, they're not against pros this time. They're against stars. Yeah. Emily gets the MVP award because it's a female day. CT's might as well give it to her. And she did the best, So, yeah, Emily gets MVP. The next scene, Ashley, it takes a turn. It's all about Ashley's dad and possibly pulling the plug. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't know if Ashley knows this, but if you pull the plug on a patient, that's called murder.
No.
You can't just pull the plug on your father.
No, come on. Clearly, there was some sort of vegetative state, maybe.
Well, no, I don't know. She never exactly describes what's going on with her dad. He's in the hospital, he's sick. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he probably had a stroke or something. But it can take time to recover from that. But you don't just pull the plug on someone because it's well, they had a stroke yesterday and they're not doing good. We're pulling the plug on them. So you gotta let it play out a little bit and see what's going on in a couple days.
Do you remember on Arrested Development when Tobias had those hair plugs and they were slowly killing him? I think it was called TBA. Maybe that's what.
How do I not remember this?
No,
I know.
But that's what made me think of you gotta, because it's revealed that all he has to do is take the plugs out of his head, the hair plugs. They're like, wait a minute, there's a cure? Just take them off. He's like, no, it's beautiful. Anyways.
So that sucks for Ashley.
Yeah, but it's not really revealed. Everything is in limbo. Everything's in the air. Nominations show up, and Miz is like, hey, guess what? Jenna's gone. And also, Ashley's dealing with this stuff at home. Who knows what's going to happen? And then he's like, all right, now let's vote in our LVPs. And that's when CT's like, Mike, hold on, dude. And he doesn't even call him Miz. He's like, Mike, hold on, Mike. What is going on here? He was really upset. He was just kind of what is going on? He's like, what's going on here? We're going to vote in someone who maybe has a broken leg or whose father's going to fucking die soon. He was talking about what's happening with our team. We're all dropping like flies. And behind him, T.O. is making this sad, tears going down his cheeks, right? And, it just escalates from there because Banana's like, CT, look what T.O.'s doing. And CT, what does he say? Oh, don't do that. You're going to rub your makeup off or something. It was a lame joke, but Banana's like, ha, ha, ha. Points at T.O. I'm like, oh, Bananas, don't. This is so cool without you right now, But the back and forth between T.O. and CT was so intriguing to me.
Really?
because here's T.O. who's now like CT said it great. He's like, the hype is real. T.O.'s a dick. You said you never cared for him. All these guys who are like, let's bring it out of him, and now it's happening in the weirdest way where CT actually is kind of upset, and T.O. just happened to get in there, just kind of jab at him right when CT was vulnerable, saying like, what's going on with our females? Like, what are we doing here? That's when T.O. is doing the crying face.
Yeah, T.O. just
stoking
makes
the fires.
He just makes a gesture, but then like CT and Bananas, they all just freak out on T.O. and it gets blown into this huge thing, and it's this giant yelling match, and it like T.O. is kind of just being harmless, just making a gesture, and then they're making all this shit up, trying to make this giant moment where he's getting into a fight, and like CT gets super fucking riled up here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's the CT of old. We keep talking about how he changed and shit. Like you said, it was only after TM died. I'm like, you asshole. He was changing well before that happened. But like, yeah, it's like CT of old. He even mentioned how he's like, I remember missed opportunities because I punched little dudes in the face. You know what I mean? And got kicked off the show. And now it's all that shit is coming back in like, you know. It's like CT is a child once again because now T.O.'s in the room. He has a chance to get in a fight with T.O., verbal or physical, whatever, right? Even though CT's like, what are you gonna do? Oh, you're bigger than me. Yeah, what am I gonna stand up to you? No, you're fucking bigger than me. I know that, you know. And it's so weird to have CT of all people like, yeah, you're a bigger man. You're larger than me. It was a weird scene, but what I was getting at, CT is like a kid again. He's younger. He's regressed. He's not thinking about the impression this is going to have on his son. He's just like, he's younger now. He doesn't even have a kid yet. And he's like, I'm going to spar with this fucking celebrity, you know?
Well, yeah, and like we were saying, since episode 1, everyone's been trying to antagonize T.O. and get into a fight with him, it seems like. And CT sees this as the opportunity to pounce and be the one to get into a giant yelling match with T.O. And like CT even like makes it personal. He's like, well, I don't even want to go there with why you're here. You know, you burned through $70 million.
$70 million.
So that's why you're here. You're just here for the money. And it's like, CT, why are you here? Because you're there for the money too. All right? Because CT retired from the challenge, and then he decided he would come back for the money.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's there for the money.
It caught me off guard because CT truly was like, what is going on with our team? He truly was concerned, and T.O. was just able to just do that at a perfect time. I don't know, I really liked the scene. It was full of tension. It was escalating, like the verbal sparring. CT wouldn't fully say like, you're an asshole. He's like, I'm not gonna make it personal, but you know, you knew what you did, and shit. I don't know, I just liked some Boston hoodlum and this fucking ex-millionaire getting into a fight it's just fucking cool to me. And this is the cliffhanger. Nobody gets in, you know, I think T.O. actually stands up and CT's like, hit me then. Come on, fucking hit me.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like T.O. is, I guess, you know, he's new to this, but like CT has been on the challenge for so many years. Like they are pros at getting under your skin and starting these arguments with people. And just creating a huge situation. Like Bananas is great at it, Wes is great at it, CT is great at it, and T.O. You know, there's certain guys where you just gotta know when to stop and just don't even reply back, because if you keep responding back, then it just builds and it snowballs.
Right. And
there's type of situations you just need to say whatever and sit there.
Well, I mean, that's what T.O. did too, though. Like, he doesn't want to be one-upped at his own game. Like, he talks shit as well. He starts stuff, you know? Didn't you say, like, they called him a locker room cancer or something like that?
Yeah, well, a lot of teams ended up hating him because he's just always asking for the ball. He was not a team player. He was just about himself. He was very selfish. That's his reputation in the NFL. But he was a great football player. But it kind of does make sense. Because he has that reputation, that's why the CT and everybody's trying to draw that out of him. Because they know it's there, that side to his personality.
Yeah.
Because you can piss the guy off. You disrespect him enough, he's going to get pissed.
He's in great shape, by the way. When he was exercising at the beginning of the episode, he's like still shredded and shit. And that was the other cool thing. Like if I know it's probably not going to happen, but if CT and Tio were to actually fight, CT is like what, 36, 35, 36, something like that,
Mm-hmm.
right? Tall, unnatural strength, but he's he's not in shape. Tio 43, bigger and in shape. Like who fucking takes that fight?
Tio would destroy.
Yeah. Oh man, that's the sort of shit that it was great. But then it was to be continued, and I'm like, wow, that's weird. Like why do that with celebrities? Like, don't you just want to show it off? But
see, you were saying how much you enjoyed this confrontation. I did not enjoy this confrontation because the entire time I'm like, there's 5 minutes to go in the episode and they're just arguing. We're not going to see an elimination. They're just going to end on this because that's why I like the first episode. It was a complete episode where they had a mission and an elimination. This one, we see the mission and they're in the voting process before the elimination, and then it cuts away.
I understand why. Like, I'm pretty sure I wasn't 100% behind this thing because I was like, oh, to be continued. But shit, we just came from Dirty 30, where it was all to be continued.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
And it was good timing because it seemed like what happened like before CT got into the argument with T.O. was CT was going to say something to Miz, and it seemed like the producers that had set this up where CT was going to be like, hey, how are we going to send one of our people in to elimination where Ashley might go home because her dad is on death's doorstep, and Jenna just broke her ankle, Camilla got sent home for being drunk. Like, we don't have a team anymore, so it seems like they might have to mix things up with how they're doing these eliminations, because it seems like the champs girls side, they're not going to have any players left. So, like, then what do? They might switch it around and be like, okay, we'll just do another guys elimination day instead.
Oh, I never thought about that.
I don't know. That or they're going to just have two of the stars females go at each other, and one of them will get sent home. Like, there's going to be something, because they're going to have to even the sides a little bit, won't they?
I thought there was a rumor that Tori was going to come in.
Ooh, a
Dirty
replacement.
30 finalist, yep.
That'd be awesome.
I wouldn't mind that. That'd be great.
They needed to promote that if that was going to happen.
Yeah. Okay, but that's the end of that episode. To be continued. It's usually, we've gotten like this over the years. We're like, yeah, well, I'm just kind of beaten down by the challenge by this point. To be continued. It happens all the time. It's part of the challenge. But yeah, maybe I should have got more upset about it. But I did like these two titans squawking at each other. Like, yeah. I really like the idea of it. I'm just like, that's fucking cool. That's
I like the whole idea of this season. Like, this Champs versus Stars, I'm liking it more than I like Dirty 30.
Yeah. Oh,
by
for
a long
sure.
shot.
Fuck yeah. Yeah.
It's really, I don't know. There's just something about it. I think it's great. And like the Miz being there as host, he did a phenomenal job.
Yeah. He's great. He's
like
awesome.
Being able to see Wes, because Wes is, we've only seen him, he wasn't there on Dirty 30.
Thank God. He probably would have hated it. Like, that was such a shitty season. I'm sure like having him on there would have made it better, but it would have still sucked to see anyone in that season. It just sucked.
Dirty 30, the entire season didn't work for me just because of the redemption house. Like, they go in, but then they come back, and then they go in, and then they come back. Where you didn't exactly know who was getting sent home until they would actually do like the bloodbath purge, where it was like 4 people going against each other. Then it was actually definitive. And
from what I can tell, the Champs versus Stars, it's played solidly. I am really shocked that there was a to be continued, because they didn't do that at all with Champs versus Pros, from what I remember. But I don't know. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next episode.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh
man, Tampa Bay's got second and goal from like the 3-yard line here.
God damn
End of
it.
the third quarter.
We're about to close this up.
I know. Okay, let's close the podcast so I can focus on the Packers.
All right. Like, subscribe, comment. I'm very bad at replying, but comment anyways, man. Fucking do it. This was Battle of the Challenges podcast with Vincent Cloud
And a hardcore dude.